Welcome to the space where reflection meets accountability, where real conversations challenge the way we think, speak, and show up in the world. This is a place for growth, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So take a breath, slow down for a moment, and let's get into today's reflection. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Rosie, and thanks for joining me on Elevating Glow. Let's talk about something that doesn't get said enough. Growth isn't just uncomfortable. It's identity threatening. Because when you start changing, you're not just learning new behaviors. You're letting go of the version of you that people recognize. And that's where fear shows up. Let me ask you this. Who are you if you're no longer the person everyone expects you to be? The strong one, the people pleaser, the laid back one, the always available one. We don't just act these roles. We become them. And over time, they feel like identity, not choice. Here's the truth. Growth requires you outgrow versions of yourself that once felt necessary. But even if those versions are limiting, they're familiar, they're predictable, and they feel safe. Here's a question for you. Are you afraid of changing? Or are you afraid of how people will respond when you do? Because a lot of times, it's not the growth that scares you. It's the reaction. What if they say you've changed? Or you're different now? You used to be so easygoing. Or you're acting brand new. And here's the part no one tells you. They're not always wrong. You are changing. But changing doesn't mean losing yourself. It means meeting yourself at a deeper level. Let's break this down.
3, 2, 1.
Your current persona was built for a reason. Maybe it was to be accepted, to avoid conflict, to stay safe in some way, or fit in and feel valued. But what once protected you might be limiting you now. Here's a reflection moment. What version of yourself are you holding on to that no longer aligns with who you're becoming? Because here's the tension. Growth says evolve. Identity says stay consistent. And here you are, stuck right in the middle. That's why growth feels like loss. You're not just gaining new awareness. You're grieving an old version of yourself. The version of you that knew how to navigate your world, knew how to be liked, and knew how to avoid discomfort. Letting that go, it takes courage. Let's shift the perspective. Instead of asking, who am I without this identity? Ask yourself, who do I become if I allow myself to grow? Here's how you move through the fear. Number 1, acknowledge the attachment. You're not weak for struggling to let go. You're human. Number 2, expect resistance from yourself and others. Growth disrupts patterns. Not everyone will understand it. Number 3, redefine consistency. Consistency isn't staying the same. It's staying aligned with your truth. Number 4, give yourself permission to evolve publicly. You don't have to shrink to make others comfortable. Let me ask you something deeper. Where in your life are you shrinking just to maintain an outdated version of yourself? Because every time you do that, you delay your own growth. And here's a moment of truth. The people who benefit from your old identity may struggle with your new one. And that doesn't make your growth wrong. It makes it real. Over time, something powerful happens. You stop asking,
will they accept this version of me?
And start asking yourself,
do I accept myself like this?
That's when everything changes. Here's a final reflection. What would your life look like if you stopped performing who you've been and started becoming who you actually are? Because that version of you, it's not something you create. It's something you uncover. Here's a closing question. Are you willing to be misunderstood in order to become more aligned with yourself? Because growth will ask that of you again and again. But on the other side of that fear is freedom. If this resonated with you, take one small step today, not to become someone new, but to stop pretending to be someone you've outgrown. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay aware, stay grounded, and keep growing. Elevate and glow.